Hi guys, welcome to the first episode of Coffee Chats with my pocket coach. It is so nice to see you. How are you all doing?
Good, thank you.
Can you guys believe that it's only been 9 months since the first case of COVID-19 was confirmed in South Africa? 9 months.
It feels much
There's only 2 more months left, basically, of this whole year.
Unbelievable. Crazy.
And since then, it's like our entire world literally turned upside down. I mean, we had vigorous lockdowns, various, shops, restaurants, schools were all closed, which meant that, a lot of South Africans lost their job or had to accept, a significant pay cut. It's been tough. I think tough is an understatement. This has been a tough year. I mean, think about parents, for those of us who are parents, we are, obliged to meet our occupational objectives while simultaneously homeschooling the kids, cooking, cleaning, looking after the house. So yeah, I think, being a tough year is really, really an understatement.
Yeah.
So I think, our first question should be, how do we maintain balance? How do we maintain balance between, our personal life and our, work life? Because now we're working from home. So, how do we do that? So, yeah, let's start there. Grab your coffee and then, let's talk about a couple of tips, if any of you, have some tips.
Well, I think it starts with managing your expectations. Because people, have had to, balance themselves from working from working in the office to working at home, and now you're balancing a lot of things at the same time, aren't you? You're balancing family life, trying to also still deal with the kids, and then having to deal with your normal job, but still not working from home. So it's about managing your expectations and giving yourself some grace and some patience, and ultimately set some realistic timeframes for yourself, and give yourself time to adjust also. I think that's also very important.
Yeah, I like that. That giving yourself time to adjust. I remember that, I used to complain about commuting to work. That took me, almost an hour to and from work. And I was complaining, and now I actually miss it. Because that's...
Wow, Elri.
Yeah, that hour was like my hour. It was the hour where I could just, get my focus, get my brain aligned, have my objectives, everything, that I want to do. But now it's so different because I'm in this home office, and then when I open my door, I need to, give energy to my family. So I have no more time for myself. So again, how? How do we find that space, or where do we find that space? That space of just, your time where you can just breathe.
I think it becomes quite important that, especially if you had some hobbies, things that you were doing, that you still try and go and do those specific hobbies. Listen to the books, read the books, go outside, stop at a certain time to just work. Because I found, especially during the hard lockdown when we were inside the house the whole time, that I would easily work into the evenings and not stop. You won't necessarily stop because you'd rather get stuff done. And I think it did create a sense of almost being scared because everyone was going into a panic type of state. You were scared that if you didn't do enough, then something might go wrong. So we had this whole idea of we had to do more than usual, where in fact I do think you still need to have those breaks, because if you just try and add, it just becomes a horrible spiral of adding things on instead of having those moments of stopping with what you're all busy and finding a bit of balance for yourself to sustain and maintain what you are doing.
It's also about how you keeping focus, isn't it, with those regular breaks?
Exactly.
And to add on to what Johanica has actually said is that, it's also a good idea to schedule like mental health days, to actually just refocus yourself. Have family days. What about like a digital detox weekend? Why not?
Exactly. Yeah, I love that idea, Kay. It's awesome. I think just to cotton on to what you said earlier about managing expectations, it's very difficult. You open your door and then there's your family. So for me, practically, I think it would be setting up your work environment. Set up a space in your home that's designated for work so that when you leave there, okay, it's rest time. That something happens in the mind when you do that, and even communicates with your family. Maybe the red smiley sticker face on your door means, okay, mom is in a meeting, everyone quiet. Maybe a purple sticker on the door means, okay, you can come in, mom is working on the computer. Things like that makes it kind of practical to work with is very key. And I also think it's important for you to set boundaries. It's kind of crazy how much expectation is on us to work until 10, 11 at night. And then we're saying enough is enough, because it can lead to burnouts, which leads to other problems. So self-care is very key, as Kay said. Yeah.
I love your boundaries idea there, Chivonne, because you know what? It's about it's setting boundaries with the people around you. So setting boundaries with your children, setting boundaries also with your colleagues. Yeah, they might not be with you in your home environment, but at the end of the day, they're going to put it on their stresses and their expectations onto you. So it's about communicating effectively, what you actually need to actually put into place, and communicate your needs to everyone that you need. That's what you need ultimately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And Kay, I also love your idea of, set realistic goals. Because I think we put so much pressure on ourselves, to make sure that we tick everything from our list. So, how do we do that, Kay? Like, how do we set realistic goals? Like, how do we schedule it? Do we do it on our phones or, put it, our schedule in our calendar? Like, how do we do that?
Well, I feel it's about setting also a routine, because you know what, when it comes to balanced work and personal life, it's also about when you're at work normally, because think about it, pre-COVID, you were in a routine. When you get to work, you do certain things, go get your coffee, go to the toilet, whatever the case may be. But now you're actually at work, home, okay, you need to actually get yourself into that routine and basically go and schedule your priorities. So it's always a good idea to actually make sure that what is your priorities for the day, and make sure that there's a schedule actually put into place as to when during the day you're going to focus on it, and don't have priority after priority, one after the other. It's always a good idea to have what I call carrots. So it's something I teach actually in relation to making sure that you break your day up into certain time slots, and then you have carrots in between whereby it is a 10-minute sort of break, but you have one break whereby it might be away from the screen, read a book, go and be in a different environment, and then the next one needs to be something that's a little bit energetic, get your heart rate up, get your energy up. Otherwise, you become like a slumber because you're doing the same thing over and over again. You actually start getting bored after a while. So it's always a good idea to actually have those 10-minute carrots in between and break the time up in that way.
Nice. Yeah, I like that. So basically, just, maintaining that healthy lifestyle, while, balancing work and home life. Nice. We also have a special guest here today with us who's going to ask a question. Stuart, how are you doing?
Very good. And yourself, Ari? Hi, everyone.
Hi. Thanks. So do you have a question for us?
Yes, I do. The question that I have for you all today is, what are good, obviously coming to project and time management, what are your suggestions on how to limit the distractions that may creep in during the day?
Okay, do you wanna tackle that one?
Yeah, all right, fair enough. No problem. All right. Well, firstly, plan your days the night before is always a good idea. Always. Okay, so that okay, what are my priorities? What do I need to focus on, and things like that. And a really good idea is actually to turn off your distractions. So as an example, I actually teach the fact that you need to, when you're on Outlook, for instance, you have those little pop-ups that tell you what your next email is coming through. It's called email pop-ups. Always a good idea to switch those off, because I don't know about you, but when I see those, I automatically want to go to that email and go, oh, let me just quickly see what this person's actually said. So you actually can tell Outlook to actually switch that actually off. And what's also very important when it comes to distractions is, I don't know about you, but if I'm uncomfortable, it is a distraction. So you need to actually make sure that you are comfortable when you actually need to focus. That's always a good idea. And have visual reminders everywhere of what your priorities are for the day.
Nice. Yeah, I like that, because I agree. If I'm uncomfortable, I can't focus. But also, you can't be too comfortable. I think Chivonne would also, agree with that. There's something called enclosed cognition. That, it's a psychological theory that says that what you wear can actually affect your mindset. So, if you're working in your pajamas, you are automatically and psychologically going to kind of get into that mindset. I don't know, Chivonne, you are our image specialist, so what do you think?
Yes, 100%. It's like I said earlier in the first question, where you need to have a designated space where you're actually working, so that when you go and rest in your bed, you can actually relax. But if you're working from your bedroom, if you're wearing your pajamas, that's the kind of energy you're going to be doing everything. But if I could just add on that distractions element there, Stuart, is self-awareness really helps. When you know what actually does distract you, then you'll be ready for it when it comes. That's your trigger. Okay, I really like to go and check out YouTube videos every time when I'm a bit relaxed, or when I'm getting overwhelmed. I like to go out and have a walk. Limit those things that are easily distractible for you.
That's actually a good point, Chivonne, because actually there is an app, and I don't know if people know about this, but there's an app called Focus, which actually helps you. It's a website blocker app, basically.
Oh, wow.
And you actually tell the app which websites you tend to go to. So if you know you are a person that likes shopping a lot, or likes gaming, or tend to look at the news, whatever the case may be, whatever your thing is that distracts you, you can actually tell this particular app, listen, if you find me going to this particular website, don't be. So it actually does help.
Love it.
That is so cool. What is it called again? Focus.
Focus, yeah.
Focus. And then
the other thing that makes it a little bit harder, if you have those distractions and it's not necessarily something that you can switch off. So if you are in an area, I'm thinking of people at home, people at an office, where you have people coming in and you're in the middle of something, but you have to stop and do something else. Or when you're at home, if you have children, I'm sure the children are popping in and asking for things that need to happen in that moment. So I do think those distractions are also a new thing that we have now learned how to deal with, or have to learn how to deal with.
Yeah, Chivonne actually had such a great technique for that, actually, in the beginning of this, episode. And Chivonne, you said that you can put a sign, on the door. Which is so great, so that your kids know, okay, green sign means mommy is good or daddy is okay, and the red sign means shh.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is very, very nice. Okay, great, guys. So, that was our first episode. We focused on time management. Any closing remarks, any closing tips? I think the first one was set boundaries. The second one was, create realistic goals. Third one was awareness. You need to be, self-aware in order to, get a sense of what is distracting you. Step number 4 is download the Focus app. It prevents you from going, onto Instagram or Facebook or Netflix when you should actually be, working. Anything else?
Oh, I have this really other cool app that teaches you quite a lot about time management and how to manage your projects, and it's called My Pocket Coach.
Wow, well done. I love that, Johanica.
So you must definitely make sure that you are using it.
Nice. Yeah, do a session on it. Sorry, Kay?
No, I love the way she gone and included that. Well done.
Yeah, well.
Number 5 is download My Pocket Coach in order to get more information on time management.
Yeah. But another little tip is time tracking. So it's always a good idea to know how long you take with certain activities. So if you find every day that you're having to write a certain report for your boss, or you're needing to do certain things that is a regular occurrence with your everyday work, always time yourself and see what your regular time is of doing it. So then you know when you schedule your day the night before, then you know, okay, fair enough, I need to be able to spend half an hour only on this particular thing, and you stick to that half an hour. But there is actually, funny enough, also an app with that, and it's called timing.
Nice.
Well done.
Yeah, there's an app for everything.
Yeah.
I just happen to be just going, oh, okay, look at that. So, because I've got a natural habit of actually timing everything myself, just to see, you know, what happens during the day, and it really does work to know what your average time is that you take for certain activities. So then you can plan and schedule your day accordingly.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, wonderful. So yeah, maybe in our next session, you know, we can chat about motivation, because it's great to talk about, you know, how you manage your time, but how can you actually get motivated in order to, for example, you know, download the Focus app and then follow that, you know, structure. So motivation. So yeah, thank you so much, guys, for joining us in our first episode. Thank you, Stuart, for popping in. And yeah, until we see you guys again.
Thank you.
Thank
you very much, everyone.
Bye.